you've taught yourself everything here. Engine building, welding, now you're gonna paint.
I saw this car from your guys' video, Tom's yard over in Midland, Texas.
Here we are looking at the same car that we saw years ago. It's in Southern California. I really admire this guy because he's a young guy that really is like an old-time hot rodder. Yeah, you're gonna be a star soon. You'll have your own. Think back to the pandemic years. Barn Find Hunter was off the road. I mean, nobody was traveling anywhere. So we tried to do Barn Find Hunter remotely by interviewing people on Zoom. And it was November of 2021 that we found out this guy named Omar in California was a serious Ford guy who, you know, was working on cars, fixing cars, modifying cars, building engines, you know, in his driveway. And we said, when we go to California next, we're gonna go meet with Omar. And so here we are in his driveway. It's good to finally meet you in person.
Thanks
Because the last time I saw you, you know, we're on Zooming each other, you know?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Different times.
This is your collection. You're obviously a Ford guy. I guess when we interviewed you last, it was the Galaxie that we concentrated on. So why don't we, because this is right here and it's pretty and it's shiny and stuff, why don't we start with this one?
Okay.
Tell us about this.
So this car, I've had about 6-7 years already, and I actually bought it from the original son's owner. The son had to sell it. He was having a baby, so he wanted to get some cash and he had to let it go. It wasn't in this condition. It was primered and the engine wasn't running, and you know, it needed a couple stuff suspension wise, but I really wanted to make it a cruiser, so.
So you painted it?
No, I didn't paint it. I had it painted actually, and I have a pretty crazy story. I took it to Tijuana and they painted it over there. Yeah.
All right, so I remember when you hear stories about people bringing their cars to Tijuana to get leather interiors put in and stuff, and you get really, really good deal. Was it a really, really good deal?
It was decent, I think. It was like $4,000. I just wanted some paint and just to cruise it.
And so did you have to leave it there and come back in a couple of weeks or something?
Yeah, it took about 3 months. I would just occasionally just drop in just to see how it was doing, you know? And yeah, they did a pretty decent job, I'd say.
So here you're in Los Angeles, Tijuana is somewhere over there. How far is that? How long a drive is that?
That's about, it's like hour and a half.
That's
2
it?
hours, yeah.
So you trailed it down?
They don't really let you trailer a car into there. You have to drive it there.
Ah, I get it.
So I trailered it off the last exit and then drove it off the trailer, and I just drove it in through there. It was complete, you know, it looked kind of weird because it was a complete junker. It barely even ran. Had no interior, and it was a crazy drive.
Well, I mean, so they had to do sanding, final body work or whatever. I think that they did a paint job. I mean, this is a great paint job.
So this one has a 302. It's just, you know, your average small block. It had a C4 in it, but I recently just put a AOD in it from a 93 Thunderbird. It's got that overdrive gear now, and it's a highway cruiser.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So you drive this to work and? Like...
Yeah, sometimes I'll drive it to work. You know, it's just have a different experience when you go to work with you know, 68 Torino. So.
Oh yeah, a lot of people must enjoy that.
Yeah.
So, and you know, the wheels, you bought those wheels?
Yeah.
So those are Repro Torino GT-ish kind of wheels?
Yeah, these are Vintiques, and I think they look really good with
They look really good.
Car,
they look really good. So what Omar just told me is, I'm looking at these stickers. I can't read them because I don't read Spanish. But he said that the previous owner of this car drove it to Mexico, I guess 3 times. This looks like 1982 and then twice in 1983. Are these, you had to get a permit to drive in there, or a visa or something, or what is this?
Yeah, I believe back then you needed like some type of permit to, you know, travel across the border, but.
So the Galaxie, 64 Galaxie. So this is the one that we met you with 3 years ago on Zoom. So how far have you come? Well, first of all, where did you get this car?
So I saw this car from your guys' video with Tom's yard over in Midland, Texas. And yeah, at first I didn't know it was from the video, but when he had posted up for sale, and I jumped on it. I thought it was a very good deal, and then he started talking to me about you guys and all the stuff that you guys did. And
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So let me bring the audience up to speed here. So, oh God, it was, probably 8 years ago or so. We were in Midland, Texas, because I wanted to see where the Chaparral race cars were built. So we went to Midland, Texas to look for old cars, and we met an interesting guy, a great family. It was Tom Cross, and he had a yard full of old Fords, mostly old Fords. And we wound up buying an old station wagon. If you remember, the red wagon now is at McPherson College. And so you wound up with another car. That's amazing. So did you find it to be a solid car?
Yeah, it's really solid. It doesn't really have much rust. I'm still working on it, and we still have a lot of work to do. It's a big car, but it's going along here pretty nicely, I think.
So you're putting sound deadening or heat?
Yeah,
insulator?
it's got a sound deadening material, and it's I'm trying to get a new interior on it. I've got the door seat covers for it, and the interior is almost, all the pieces are almost there, and then it's just time to get everything in there.
So have you been in touch with Tom at all? Give him updates or anything?
I haven't. I've been wanting to. I think it'd be really cool to drive this car over there. Make the trip, make a road trip out of it.
Oh, he would love it. Well, hopefully he's watching this video right now. How did you get it? Did you have it shipped? Did you go pick it up?
Yeah, I had it shipped, and yeah, this big 18-wheeler showed up right in the neighborhood, right in front of my house, and dropped it off. This thing is huge. Oh my God! I did not think it was gonna be this big. This thing's a yacht. So
what's your plans for as far as drivetrain?
This one, so man, I was building a 428 for this car, a 428 FE, and I spent like a year gathering the parts and another year just learning how to build. It was my first ever engine build. And yeah, I started it up. And unfortunately, the block was cracked. Yeah.
So you got it all built. Oh man.
Yeah. So crucial step. Always mag your block. Make sure it's free of cracks before you even start. I thought it was mag, but that's it ended up being cracked.
So you sure the heads aren't cracked? It's the block.
Yeah. I put so much. Really nice performance parts on it. I put aluminum heads on it. I had a custom roller cam on it, and I thought it was gonna be like a real bruiser on the street,
Yeah.
But I turned it on, everything ran amazing, and then it started to leak the coolant and the oil, and man, my heart dropped.
So you have all the parts. All you need is a new block now.
Yeah, I have all the parts are in the trunk. There's a whole 428 in pieces in there, and just ready for a block.
So you're looking for a block. You haven't found one yet?
Not yet.
All right, so if you live in the Los Angeles area and want to help Omar out, if you've got a 428 block, a solid block, get in touch with Hagerty. We'll get you in touch with Omar, and he'll be your best pal for life. Oh, you got some big-ass chrome headers in there.
Yeah.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah, those are some tri-wise from FPA.
This is sitting here stagnant until you find a new block.
Yeah, well, for now, I have a 390 block right there on the run stand that I plan to use. Yeah, we just have to keep the build going and, have to get it on the road.
So I see a 3-car manifold there. Is that's going to go on here or both?
Yeah, it's going to go on the Galaxie. It's always been the plan. So I found this tri-power setup here in Pasadena. Boom! And it was just full of mud. It had like nests in there, and I really wanted the tri-power, and I found it for a pretty decent deal. $400 is just unheard of.
With the carburetors?
Yeah,
yeah. Man, and linkage, the whole deal.
Linkages and everything.
So is that aluminum or cast iron?
This one's aluminum, so it's definitely helped with the weight of the super heavy intake.
So did you find it in a yard sale, or how'd you find it?
I found it on a website. I think it was Marketplace. I think it was. The guy had it for years, and you just didn't use it.
That was a score. So that'll go on the 390 and then ultimately the 428. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is just a stock running engine. You don't know much about it?
Yeah, this is just a stalker. I have no information on it. I know it turns good, and I've looked at the valve covers and the valve train, and it looks to be pretty good. I've turned it over, so we're gonna try and see if she starts.
So what kind of gearbox do you have for this?
This one, I have a C6 for it. The Galaxies never came with the C6, but I think it'd be a lot better than the Cruiser-Matic, a little bit more robust.
Yeah, I think so. Wow.
Yeah.
And is your plan to keep the patina, or you gonna bring it to Tijuana?
No, this one we're keeping like that. Yeah, we're not touching this one. I like the character on it.
Yep.
Looks pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So one thing I've noticed over here, and I want to show you how organized this guy is. That you know, we told you he's got his own channel. Well, here's his YouTube schedule. This is last year, September, October. You know, Ventura Car Show, Ford 428 run stand build, start Ford C6 transmission rebuild. So these are the themes for his programs. Just amazing. I'm really impressed. Omar showed us under the hood here. Now it's been sitting for a while because the cracked motors kind of put a roadblock to his continuing his project, but he kind of painted it like a factory look of a satin black, and you can see he's put a Willwood brake setup on here. So it's got not just the master, you got the whole disc brake deal?
Yeah, it's got front disc brakes and rear disc brakes.
Rear disc brakes?
As well, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What'd you say about the upper control arms?
And these are the tubular, the Fat Man control arms. That's what they call them.
Yep.
It will just make the car handle a lot better.
Very nice. And it looks like you got heavier sway bars. And I guess you got more camber and caster adjustment with those control arms. Very nice. So this car takes priority over, you know, the Comet and the Mustang, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think this car's been sitting for too long, and it needs to be on the road.
Yeah. So you have a 390. I mean, you really in one weekend you can put that in here.
Oh yeah.
Probably get it running. Yeah. We've walked by this Comet. This is 64.
Yep. So this one I just recently acquired. It's a 64 Comet, and it's actually a Cyclone model. It has a 4-speed, so it's like the higher performance of the Comets.
And 289?
Yeah, this is a 289.
Still 289? Can you pop the hood?
Yeah.
Huh. So this came with the manual gearbox?
Yep. So that's the...
Oh, there you go. I know those engines so well. So it looks like it got a new water pump? Huh.
Yeah, I was trying to start it, and it's just started leaking, and you know, the goal is just to get it on the road.
Yep,
basically.
Yep. So it's a 4-barrel, got a high-rise aluminum manifold. Where'd you find this?
This one I found, it was about an hour away. It was in Riverside. And yeah, the guy's yard down Lincoln Parts, man, he has so many cars. I didn't even know it was a Cyclone. I thought it was just a run-of-the-mill Comet. When I got there, it turned to be a very nice car.
So these are, I mean, have a pretty good racing history from back in the day. They ran the African Safari Rally, and you know, they road raced these things. Drag raced them. If you like these videos, you really should check out the Hagerty Drivers Club. You get 24/7 roadside assistance with flatbed towing, subscription to an award-winning magazine, and more. Sign up today. The link is in the description below. Will this stay the same look? You gonna bring this to Tijuana? How do you, what?
Now this one, I'm gonna try and paint it myself and do all the body work. Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah,
put
most
plastic
of the body
up?
work.
Yeah.
Well, they rent out if you go to LA, you can rent out a booth.
Oh wow.
So I plan on doing some of the body work here and then going over there and.
And what color will this be?
I really want it to be black. I think that looks really cool.
Well, you better be pretty good with your body work then.
Yeah, definitely. It's got no floor, but I drove it like that and
really
just banged on the gears on it.
Ooh. There's a piece of metal there, but I can, you know, around the metal I can see concrete. So are you going to put patches in, or are you going to put new floor in?
I was debating on using the patches, but I think I'm just going to go with the full floor pan.
Side to side, front to back.
Yeah, that'd be the best choice, I think. Get all new sheet metal on there.
Do you weld?
I weld, yeah.
You've taught yourself everything here. Engine building, welding, now you're gonna paint.
The reason I like to work on these cars is because I want to learn, you know, some new skills, and I want to take the time to do it, because I know if I do it, if I take my time with it, I know I can do it right.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you do for a living?
I'm actually work as an EMT, so I work in the medical field. Yeah.
Well, I admire you. All right, so like I'm always looking in the backyard, and I see in your backyard you've got a Fastback.
Yeah, that's a huge project for the future. It's a '68 Mustang Fastback.
Oh boy, yes.
And, she's very rough here.
Yep.
You can shake the car here and it'll move on you.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, this is definitely a project here.
Wow. Yeah, I would rethink this maybe, because I mean I'm looking here, folks. I'm looking at my shoes right through the floor, and that quarter panel and stuff. So that's a lot of reinforcing. You know, you'd probably have to put the car on a jig, on a surface plate, you know, and get it like square.
You know, thankfully they sold every piece.
They
They even sell the shell for this thing as well, the whole complete shell.
Right. Yeah, you know, what Omar's saying, you can buy a new body for a Mustang. 68, you can buy a new one, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that one. But you've got a couple of good candidates over there. So when we met you, if I remember right here was like a red Mustang.
Yeah.
So what became of that? So
that Mustang, that was my first ever car I bought. And I drove that car to college. That was my only car, so if it didn't run, I didn't have a ride. So
yeah.
That car, I ended up selling it, and I really wanted a Fastback. That was always my dream, to have the Fastback. So I sold it, and I got myself a project now. But they're pretty expensive cars now. They're hard to find.
So, you know, one interesting about Omar, I mean, he's got another career in a whole other industry, but this is his passion. And he has started his own channel. Why don't you tell us about that? How long it's been going, how many viewers you've got, and how people can find you.
Yeah, I've had my channel for a couple years now, and I started it when I got the Galaxie, because there wasn't much Galaxie stuff out there, you know, how to do simple stuff. I had no idea. You know, a lot of times you have to research this stuff, but over the time I've just been working on this car, and I've been learning a lot about it, and I wanted to teach everybody else.
Isn't that cool?
You know.
So as you learn, you're teaching. As you learn a new thing, then you can show your audience how to do it themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
That's,
you know,
terrific.
Something like the headliner there is, it can be a daunting task, but it's actually pretty easy if you take your time with it.
So how do people find your channel?
Just Omar Ramirez Galaxie.
Omar, O-M-A-R, and your last name?
R-A-M-I-R-E-Z.
Galaxie.
Galaxie.
Cool. So I mean, so here's a guy, you know, that he's not afraid to dive off the deep end into the deep end of the pool. He's doing his own interior. He's doing his own bodywork and paint. He's doing his own mechanical work. He's going to weld floors in. He's going to fabricate body panels. I really admire this guy because he's a young guy that really is like an old-time hot rodder or an old-time restorer that, okay, well, I can do that myself. Give me a wrench, give me a saw. And, you know, he goes to junkyards, gets parts, he sources things. If it's not perfect, he'll try to make it as perfect as possible. Boy, I like seeing someone your age really with the guts to go after cars that were far older than you are. So pretty cool. I admire that. You know that Omar's looking for a 428 block, a solid block. Get in touch with Hagerty and we'll connect you guys. We know that Omar's got his own channel, and if you want to follow his exploits into the world of Ford restorations and modifications, you should check it out. And if you happen to live in the LA area and you want to join, you know, these cruise-ins and work sessions that Omar does with the people he's met, you can do that too. So, man, thanks so much. Thanks so much. And thanks for reaching out to us. And Tom Cross, if you're watching this, you're going to like what he's doing to your Galaxie. Happy hunting.